But for now, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through all the possibilities with every character using wave bouncing, and how possible it is, and what sort of effects occur. So here we have Mario. There's your standard wave bounce. We'll compare this to me jumping and doing 4B normally. As you see, he still gets a backwards momentum. This obviously is not as prominent. Just give you a quick idea there. We'll move on to Donkey Kong. As you can see, he stops in his tracks, just like he does doing it normally. So there's hardly any effect here, although you can see a slight wave bounce happening. As you can see, he sort of drifts forward a little bit when you do his side B, like I am now. But with the C-stick backwards, he retreats a little bit. Obviously, I can't test this with his down B, but I'll get into the effects of that later on. Moving on to Link. There's this wave bounce with his boomerang. As you can see, he gets quite a backwards thrust of momentum. A defensive boomerang, if you will. Compare that to his normal. This is normal once again. But with the C-stick, using wave bouncing, you get all sorts of cool happenings. You see I just did it with the bow as well. Nothing much happening with the bombs. I'm not going to go too in-depth with the character because I'm sure you all want to experiment for yourselves. So I'm just giving you a quick rundown of what you can expect. Some characters, nothing happens at all. Some characters, you have a huge, huge effect. We'll try Samus. As you can see, there's no effect really here, aside from the fact that she's changing direction as she normally would. But this is a benefit, because one of the other things that takes place when using the C-stick instead of your 4B is that while normally it requires a very precise directional influence to change the direction while you're airborne in order to do something like that, right now I'm just using the analog stick, it requires very precise movements to do this. Using the C-stick makes it much easier. And we'll move on to Zero Suit Samus. As you can see, she gets a little bit of a backwards momentum, a little bit of wave bounce, if you will. I noticed that it also had an effect with her neutral B, but again, it is very difficult to pull that off normally. There it is. Hey, I'm getting pretty good at it. Hey! I'm sure with practice I'll be pretty wicked at it. We'll move on. I might cut out the loading times later, I don't know. So there's Kirby's wave bounce. You can see it is there. He does pause briefly, take a slight thrust back before whipping out his hammer. And if we compare this to the normal side B, now the C-stick, you see there is a difference there, all not very prominent. Alright, we'll move on. Let's see what Fox has to offer. If my memory serves me correctly, he actually has no difference whatsoever in his abilities. Yep. Even tapping it in the opposite direction results in you viewing your Fox illusion in the same direction you are facing, provided that the analog stick is still facing that direction, or pressed in that direction, I should say. And obviously his reflector already has his own special stun time, or delay, I should say, stall. So no effect is happening with that. Oh, it looks like he gets a tiny bit of a thrust backwards with his up B. Little bit of a wave bounce there with his up B. But as you see, hardly any difference with Fox. This is definitely a particular thing that only works really well with certain characters. Now Pikachu I'm particularly fond of, because I normally do sort of a lightning bolt wall by jumping back and doing this. And if I'm already in the air using this thunder, I have to use another jump to do this. However, with a wave bounce... Oh, sorry, that was neutral. I failed at it. There we go. With the wave bounce, as you can see, he's automatically bouncing backwards. Very nice defensive measure with Pikachu, and something that can definitely be used in regular play. And if I compare this to doing my regular down B, obviously there's a huge difference. Now with a side B, there is a slight bounce, but nothing that will really affect the game in any way, shape, or form. Moving on to Marth. Now, I'm going to tell you flat out right here now, this is dangerous with Marth. And I think there's going to be tons of applications that will be added to Marth's gameplay style using this. And let me show you what I mean. See how his particular wave bounce is basically perfect as a defensive tactic? And of course, continuing to use the C-stick, you can follow up with all the moves of the Dancing Sword. Even changing the direction of it. So let's say, for example, I want to jump forward and do my side B using the regular control scheme. Now let's say I do it with a wave bounce. As you can see, this is a very, very dangerous application with Marth that can definitely be used in competitive play very, very well. As you can see, there's also a slight wave bounce using his neutral B. Hey, I am getting pretty good at that. Not only that, but it also happens with his down B, sort of a retreating counter. There it is. But there's hardly anything to that, so I don't see any applications there. But the wave bouncing Dancing Sword is deadly, and I can't wait to see people use it in competitive play. Moving on to Mr. Game & Watch. There you see he definitely has a wave bounce with a side B. Retreating Judgment. Let's try his neutral B. What? What? There we go. He also gets a wave bounce with his neutral B. Nothing with his up B. There's Game & Watch real quick.
Luigi.
I haven't tried Luigi yet, so I'm curious to see if he gets a wave bounce. Okay. Oh, absolutely nothing. Not a thing with Luigi. Maybe with his fireball, though. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bounce with his neutral B. Compare that to the regular, you see there's definitely a difference. So Luigi only gets a slight wave bounce using his neutral B. Moving on to Diddy Kong. Nothing with his down B, which is normal. And due to the properties of the side B, you can see there's really no difference here. Looks like Diddy Kong is going to be completely left out of this. Wait, his peanut gun gets a little bit. But there's no effect really whatsoever. Sorry, Diddy Kong, no wave bouncing for you. Now Zelda's pretty sweet, alright? Zelda definitely has a nice wave bounce. Now, one of the initial troubles with the C-Stick is that moves that require charging cannot be charged with the C-Stick. However, if you want to pass over your finger from the C-Stick to the thumb, or from your C-Stick to the B button, you can actually continue this. This was something initially discovered by Canopio while we were messing around with it. The continuation with the B button allows for some very defensive tactics, and if you compare this to her regular jumping side B, you can see the drifting aspect of her side B in particular, while normally dangerous and risky, can be completely negated due to thanks to wave bouncing. So Zelda definitely gets some use out of this. Let's try her neutral B. Oh, I'm sorry. I just transformed. Alright, well, let's try Sheik. Oh, tripped. Alright, so there's really nothing there. Let's try her neutral B if I can. Oh, that was terrible. Hang on. It's very tricky, very tricky. Okay. So she does get a slight wave bounce with a neutral B, but nothing really that will affect you too much. So there you have it. Moving on to Pit. I haven't tried him yet, so we'll see what happens. Okay, well, let's compare this. This is me jumping and doing the side B normally with my normal forward momentum. As you can see, he does get a little bit of a wave bounce that pretty much keeps him in place. Where normally he would be moving pretty dangerously far forward. Depending on what the circumstances are, this could prove to be useful. Other than that, he gets a little wave bounce with his down B. And it looks like he gets a slight bounce with his neutral B as well. So, nothing too crazy here, but it does happen ever so slightly with Pit. Moving on to Metanite. As you'll see, unfortunately, due to the properties already in motion with his special moves, you're not going to see any wave bouncing whatsoever as Metanite. Now Falco, there's one thing I've yet to try with Falco. I'm going to see if it works right here and now. Now just like Fox, his Phantasm will move in the same direction as your analog stick, and there's no wave bounce to it at all. But, let me see what happens. Okay. Looks like there's no wave bounce with his down B. Oh, man, whoa. That is awesome. Oh, damn. So it looks like Falco gets a slight wave bounce with his blaster. As you can see, if I do my regular blaster, I continue to move forward with my normal momentum. Oh, but there's my... Alright. So, not very useful, but kind of funky and sweet, and I definitely would like to show off with that. Okay. Let's do all three Pokemon now. Alright, so with Squirtle, let's see what happens. This is me doing my side B normally. Oh! So as you can see with the C-Stick, there's a little bit of a bounce, but not very useful for the move at all, regardless. However, you can see there's definitely a bounce with this neutral B, and if I decide to spray out the water with it, Well, there you go. Let's try this again. Wait. No. That's one thing I'll just say right here and now. With moves that you're not able to do at all, such as Pokemon trainers swapping Pokemon while in the air, if you attempt to do this with the C-Stick special, the character will simply jump. So tapping C-Stick down in the air will make you jump. There are other factors about this, but like I said, I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to touch on that real quick. Alright. Let's try Ivysaur. As you can see, he gets a little bit of a wave bounce. That's normal. That's wave bounce. Hooray! Well, Charizard, there's a huge wave bounce. And I think this could definitely be applied. Compare that to my regular momentum. Wave bounced. And there you have it. Now, here's Ike. Ike gets a little bit of a wave bounce using his side B, and you'll see it here. You'll see it here first. Only on Zoo 19 YouTube channel. Alright. As you can see, we'll try neutral B. Oh, well, there's retreating counter. Damn it. Damn it. There we go. Okay, so he gets a slight wave bounce with his neutral B as well. Alrighty then. I've yet to try Snake, although I'm not anticipating much, honestly. Okay, so he gets a little bit of a bounce with his missile launcher. Not that it's incredibly useful. Let's try... Okay. Okay, so he gets a wave bounce with his mine as well. And... he also gets a little wave bounce with his grenades, so... some defensive maneuvers. Not incredible, but they're there. Trying Peach. Okay, that's what I thought. Due to her side B already having fixed momentum as it is, there's no wave bouncing whatsoever with Peach. As said before, since there's no down B doable in the air, you'll simply jump. And her up B has nothing as well. I doubt anything happens with Toad either, because he already affects your momentum pretty hardcore. Alright, now Yoshi definitely has something interesting going for him. While his side B isn't going to do anything for you when wave bounced, his up B is where it's at. Let me demonstrate. Oh, well, there's neutral B as well. Defensive egg toss. So there's Yoshi wave bounce, using both his neutral B, come on, and his up B. Then nice. Moving on to Ganondorf. You'll see that just like Captain Falcon, his side B will have no effect whatsoever. No wave bounce to it, simply because it's already fixed. I'll try his neutral B though. Okay. So it looks like as long as you keep your analog stick facing forward, this is an easy way to do a turnaround. But aside from that, that's all you get.